नमस्ते।
प्रणाम मैडम।
नमस्ते नमस्ते। हरिओम। We'll start with our prayer. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. वाङ्मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठिता माविराविर्मयेधि वेदस्य माणिस्थ श्रुतं मे मा प्रहासीरनेनाधीतेन होरात्रान् सन्ददामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्भक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु भक्तारमवतु भक्तारम्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ओम्। So we are studying Panchadashi. We are in 6th chapter, and this is to consider the nature of Maya. But let us read from the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, because that will put some light on it. Sri Ramakrishna, the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, 178 page. The nearer you come to God, the more you feel peace. Peace, peace, peace. Supreme peace. The nearer you come to the Ganges, the more you feel its coolness. You will feel completely soothed when you plunge into the river. But the universe and its created beings and the 24 cosmic principles all exist because God exists. Let me repeat. But the universe and its created beings and the 24 cosmic principles all exist because God exists. Nothing remains if God is eliminated. Nothing remains if God is eliminated. The number increases if you put many zeros after the figure 1. But the zeros don't have any value if the 1 is not there. So 1 and zeros. The master continued, there are some who come down, as it were, after attaining the knowledge of Brahman, after samadhi, and retain the ego of knowledge or the ego of devotion, just as there are people who of their own sweet will stay in the marketplace after the market breaks up. This was the case with sages like Narada. They kept the ego of devotion for the purpose of teaching men. Shankaracharya kept the ego of knowledge for the same purpose. God cannot be realized if there is the slightest attachment to the things of the world. God cannot be realized if there is the slightest attachment to the things of the world, because these are created by Maya, zero. A thread cannot pass through the eye of a needle if the tiniest fiber sticks out. The anger and lust of a man who has realized God are only appearances. They are like a burnt string. It looks like a string, but a mere puff blows it away. God is realized as soon as the mind becomes free from attachment. Whatever appears in the pure mind is the voice of God. That which is pure mind, is also pure buddhi, intellect. That which is pure Atman, because there is nothing pure but God. But in order to realize God, one must go beyond dharma and adharma. Go beyond dharma and adharma. So here our point is 1 and 0. 1 and 0. 0 has no meaning, but it appears that it multiplies. But without 1, it's meaningless. So we are now studying about Maya. So we'll read it and we'll see. In short, what is Maya? Yama, that which is not. Say 0. What is there? Which is not but appears. And it gives some value. But value is because of 1. Now we go to 130th. We have covered before that. Maya is looked upon in 3 ways: from the point of view of knowledge and Shruti, as it is negligible. So from the point of view of our scriptures, Maya is negligible, tuchha, nirvachaniya. But from logical point of view, for empirical reason, it is identifiable. So empirical, so as of now, we are behaving. When we are in this world, we cannot deny this. So this is identifiable. And for the ordinary people, it is real. So all 3 are correct. So with 0, it increases. All zeros have meaning. But without 1, nothing remains. As Sri Ramakrishna also said, nothing remains if there is no God. Because of God, everything looks like existing. Without God, that means awareness, consciousness, a real self, Atman, Paramatman. When it is there, then everything has its meaning. 24 cosmic principles. So we go to the next. Maya exhibits the appearance and disappearance in waking and sleeping states. Say when we are awake, then we don't think about our dreaming experiences. Similarly, when we are in dream, we never think about our waking experiences. So it appears and disappears. Even all our properties, all our relations, all of our worries, all our even ideals. So all this happens when we are awake or when we are dreaming of the world. Just as by rolling and unrolling a picture on a canvas, it is exhibited or withdrawn. So we, that time, that is the picture, and this is the chapter also. So that's why picture is given here, chitra. But nowadays we can say if we switch off the computer, then all the images vanishes. Anyway, we go forward. असंतृता अस्वतंत्रा ही माया स्याद अप्रतीतिर बिना चितिम. Maya is dependent for, in the absence of the cognizing faculty, the effects of Maya cannot be experienced. So, in our dream state, we are the cognizing faculty, not only faculty, being, cognizing being. So, I am there, so I dream. In our waking state also, I am here, so I am experiencing. So, Maya is dependent for, in the absence of the cognizing faculty, the effects of Maya cannot be experienced. Again, in one sense, it is independent. Actually, it has power. Why? For it can make one non-attached Atman appear to be attached. See, like Sri Ramakrishna gave another example. In an office or in a court, a person is called by the attendants. So attendant says, yes, I'll put your matter if you grease my hands. So one has to keep the attendants in good humor. Even that happens with our even offices. If you are going to office, then the gatekeeper is very important. You have to keep him in good humor. So anyway, here we have, again, we can take that example of 0 and 1. So 0, though it has no meaning, but it is multiplying. The power of 1 is getting multiplied. Therefore, we cannot say that it is absolutely nothing. We cannot say. So Kutastha, we go forward. Maya transforms the immutable Kutastha. Kutastha means the anvil. Everything is shaped on anvil, but anvil is never changed. So Maya transforms the immutable Kutastha, the ever associationless Atman, phenomenally into the form of the universe. So that which is unattached becomes attached, and he transforms himself. Though he is Kutastha, but he transforms himself. So this is the power of Maya. Maya transforms the immutable Kutastha, the ever associationless Atman, phenomenally into the form of the universe. Our example, as Sri Ramakrishna gave, 1, but association of 0 multiplies its effect. So if you have taken from someone, let's say debt, so if you are taken $1, and if you have to give even 0, if you think that 0 has no meaning and put 2 zeros, then you'll have to give 100 folds. So the point is, 0, though it has no meaning, but still it multiplies. So casting the reflection of Atman on itself, Maya creates Jiva and Ishvara. So Jiva, when Mayadhish is Ishvara, The master of Maya is Ishvara, and who is Maya Dhin? Under Maya, it is Jiva. So anyway, we go forward. Without in any way affecting the real nature of Atman, Maya creates the world. It makes the impossible look possible. Aghatana ghatana patiyeshi. Aghatana ghatana patiyeshi means that which never existed, it looks like it existed. In our dream, we see it, say something ferocious, but it's not there. So this is creating something which is not there. As a magician, he creates. Out of thin air, he creates something. So it makes the impossible look possible. How astonishing, powerful Maya is. And even Buddhism also said that, oh, how Vishmaraniyasi Mayasu, like this Maya, it's like how wonderful it is. So now we go to the next. As fluidity is the nature of water, heat of fire, and hardness of stone, so the making of the impossible possible is the nature of Maya. It is unique in this respect. So this has that it has power. Power, what power? To create something which is not there. We go forward. The magic show looks wonderful and inexplicable as long as the magician is not directly known. But when the magician is so known, the magic show is known as such and is no longer wonderful. If you know the trick, then the magic show has no meaning. We go forward. Those who believe in the reality of the world regard the effects of Maya as wonderful. But since the nature of Maya itself is absolute, astonishing, one need not wonder at its power. Because what is wonder? We know that it has power. So not to be carried away by it. Because we are here not to consider Maya and its properties. What we are here for, we are to understand the truth. We are exploring truth. What is reality? What is this self? So if you go to explore what is darkness, so it is futile. Rather, we are to find the light that is already within us. So those who believe in the reality of the world regard the effects of Maya as wonderful. But since the nature of Maya itself is astonishing, one need not wonder at its power. So we should let it alone. We know, we understand, because of Maya, whatever is not there, it shows. Aghatana ghatana patiyeshi. That means whatever has never happened, it looks like it has happened. So this is great power, and we cannot deny this. We go to the next, 138. By raising objection to the wonderfulness of Maya, we do not solve the mystery. Besides, we also can raise serious counter objections. What is essential in that we should eradicate Maya by systematic inquiry. So because Maya deviates us from our goal. There is no need of exploring about Maya. What we have to explore? We have to explore our own real self, a real nature of self. Further arguments are useless, so do not indulge in them. So we go forward. Maya is an embodiment of marvelousness and doubt. The wise must carefully find out means and make effort to remove it. So there is no denying that Maya has great power, and that's why people are deluded. And those ordinary people, they think this world is real. But as Sri Ramakrishna said, when one purifies one's mind, then this world disappears with 24 cosmic principles. So one alone is real. And Maya creates when it is associated with that one, like zero. Without one, zero has no meaning. But with one, zeros have meaning. So Maya is an embodiment of marvelousness and doubt. The wise must carefully find out means and make effort to remove it. If we want to explore the nature of Maya, then we are caught up in Maya. So it is better to not to explore. Rather, we go forward. Why? It's because this is called vivarta. We have two things, two ideas. One is called parinamavad. Parinam means one transforms into another. Like milk is transferred into yogurt. Then it cannot come back to its original nature. But vivarta is which seems like it has transformed, but in reality it has not. The example is that Dashamas Tamasi, you are the 10th. Actually, the person did not vanish. He was very much there. But because of ignorance, they thought that one of them were missing. So we have to find out that truth, not to worry about the Maya. Now doubt, there is a doubt. But the nature of Maya must be determined before trying to eradicate it. So this is the person who is doubting. He said, see, if you want to remove something, first you must know what you want to remove. You want to remove, say dust from a house or anything which is creating problem. You must know what is creating problem. Then only you can remove. So that's the argument. But reply is, if you say so, all right, do so. If you think that, okay, first we should know what is Maya and try to remove, okay, you do it. The next shloka will be clarifying. Apply the popular definition of magic of Maya. But before you do, you should understand what is the definition of Maya. Then he gives the definition of Maya. Okay, I'll read the note also here. Maya is undefinable. So, no higher definition is possible. If you want to explore what is Maya, and then I'll remove that. So first he says, okay, go ahead. But what is Maya? Maya cannot be defined. Maya is undefinable. So no higher definition is possible. Advaita, when we say Advaita, non-dual, that means there are no two. But if you say, I want to remove Maya. That means you are admitting that there is something else than the non-dual entity. So this, even the concept is also wrong. So Maya is undefinable. So no higher definition is possible. Maya, like a magic show, is clearly manifest, yet it is inexplicable. It cannot be clearly expressed, and yet it is obtrusively visible. So this is, one cannot catch Maya. Why? Because it is not definable. But effect is felt. The above popular definition of Maya is not unsatisfying. For Brahman, though undefinable, is not visible, hence the definition does not apply here. Again, the horns of here is a clear expression, but is contentless. Horn of hair, or son of a barren woman, or khapushpa. Khapushpa means a flower in the sky. So though it is visible, like blue color in the sky, though it is visible, but it is not there. And also it has like shape of reversed vessel or container, but actually it is not like that. So it cannot be seen. Here also the definition is inapplicable. So next, what the shloka says, so first he said, okay, go ahead if you want to explore the nature of Maya, okay, go ahead. But then he says, na nirupayitum shakya vispashtam bhasate chaya sa mayetindriya jaladau lokaha sampratipedire. People understand that to be Maya, which though clearly seen, is at the same time beyond all definition, as in the case of magic. So it is like chasing Willow's wasp. It is not there, but if we are chasing that, then we are in difficulty. Like there is a story. So it's like Kumbh Mela. Lots of people go and take dip, but it's very crowded. So someone lost his ring, and they put ring in their fingers. So he lost that. But it is so crowded. If he would search there, then he would be drowned. So he came back, but he was not happy. So he went to a pond, nearby pond, and started searching. So, and some people also came. They asked, what are you doing? Oh, I lost my ring, so I'm trying to find it. So they also wanted to help him. So everybody started searching there. And after a certain time, another gentleman came who said, what happened? He said, I lost my ring, so I'm searching here. Oh, is it? But where did you lost? He said, there, the crowded place. Then he said, why are you searching here? No, I lost, so I should search. So he said, it should be there, not here. So we also search like that. The thing which is difficult to define, how can you find the definition and remove it? Therefore, not to worry about it. Na nirapitum shakya vispashtam. People understand that to be Maya, which though clearly seen, is at the same time beyond all definitions, determination, as in the case of magic. We see, but it is difficult. It cannot be defined. Say, like Sri Ramakrishna gave example, 1 and 0. And 0 increases its power. But without 1, 0 has no meaning. So if we want to explore what is the cause of it, the cause is we have this understanding, we have this notion, and therefore it has value. But 0 independently has no values. Spashtam bhati jagaddecha etat shakyam tannirupanam. The world is clearly seen, but its nature defies definition. Even we cannot, everything looks logical in the beginning, but if you see, everything is illogical. Okay, when you're driving, you see so many images, and it has a connection, but you'll see all comes at random, and it has no logic. You see your dream, and in dream it looks logical, but when you come out of dream, then you understand that it has no logic. So when we come out of this, then we understand it has no logic. So the world is clearly seen, but its nature defies definition. Be impartial and regard the world as nothing but a delusion, the product of Maya. So best is, and that's why mithas mithyatva, that we say mithya. Mithya itself is mithya, so not to worry about it. Nirapayitum arabdhe nikhilairapi panditaihi ajnanam puratah tesham bhati kakshasu kasuchit. Even if all the learned people of the world try to determine the nature of this world, they will find themselves confronted at some stage or other by ignorance. So this is happening. Even the science is trying to figure it out. But as it is trying to figure it out, it is going beyond understanding. First, people thought it's so solid, but then they have concept of atom, and then subatomic particles, then even quarks, and then now the quantum. So gradually it is going beyond understanding, and they cannot find. However, they make very sophisticated instruments. It is impossible to find in nature. But they are not searching where one should search. Vedanta searches that. That is the self. Yeah, that's even if all the learned people of the world try to determine the nature of this world, they will find themselves confronted at some stage or other by ignorance. Now we go to the next. Tell us, if you can, how the body and senses came out of the same seed, or how consciousness was born in the fetus. What what answers will you give to these questions? They'll say how life replicates. There's a double helix DNA, and this replicates. But who joins them? That they cannot find. It is the self. And that's why now consciousness, now they say hard problems of consciousness. Though consciousness can be imitated like artificial intelligence, intelligence can be imitated, not consciousness, but not awareness, the subjective awareness, subjective knowledge. So, what answers will you give to these questions? Okay, we go to the next. The naturalist says it is the nature of the seed to evolve into the body with the sense organs and so forth. So, nature. Now, reply comes. What is the basis of your belief? You will perhaps say application of the double method of agreement and uh, difference and reference. But it is not confirmed because in a barren woman, seed produces nothing. So there are people who will say, no, that there should be another, that egg should be there. So anyway, we'll go forward. Na janami kim. In the end, you will have to say, I do not know. Therefore, the wise declare this world to be like a magic show. And we can understand this because this disappears. When you go to sleep, this world disappears. People would argue, no, there must be uh, a world, though I don't recollect, but there must be a world. But anyway, let them argue like that. We go to the next. What can be more magical than the fact that the seed in the uterus becomes a conscious individual, that it develops head, hands, feet, and other organs, that it passes through the states of childhood, youth, and old age, and that it perceives, eats, smells, hears, comes and goes. Physical thing can be transmitted through physical thing. That can be replicated. But behind that, there must be some conscious being. One scientist did not believe it. So he went to another scientist, and that scientist knew that he does not believe in creator. So luckily that the other second one, he made a beautiful model. So it was beautiful, and he praised. He said, "Wow, very nice model. Who created this?" So he said, "No, it happened all of a sudden like this." Are you mad? How can it all of a sudden it can be like this? Then he argued, no, you tell that this universe so beautiful, it has come up out of its own. Similarly, this also has been created automatically. So, what is the point? Point is there must be some conscious being for any creation. One must be there, then zeros have meaning. One must be there, then 24 cosmic principles will evolve from that. So, the main thing is that one, we are to hold that one. Okay, we go forward. Like the human body, carefully consider also a tiny fig tree or or banana, or fig tree, fig seed. How different the tree is from the seed from which it grows. Therefore, know all this to be Maya. So, anyway, whatever physical representation that we see in seed and the DNA, etc., and double helix structure of it and how it replicates, all this behind that, there must be some conscious being, some conscious principles. Otherwise, that cannot. And also, we can find a seed of one kind of plant produces only one kind. It is also particular. So, there is inherent quality there. So that some creator. Creator means here the awareness, consciousness. In that consciousness, everything is floating. This whole world is floating on that consciousness. Okay, we go to the next. The logicians and others, proud of their dialectical ability, may feel satisfied with their logical explanations, but the philosopher Sri Harsha Mishra has exposed the error of their position in his classic Khandana, Khandana Khanda Kavya. So, logically, it is impossible to find what is Maya. But we are not exploring Maya. We are trying to negate whatever not, what is not. Therefore, we have not a problem. Now we go to the next. Things that are inconceivable should not be subjected to canons of logic, which is inconceivable, which, like Swamiji once asked, put me a logical question, then I can answer logically. How this world was created? If this is the question. Now, how can you answer this question from being in the same domain? It is like this. In a painting, a man is painted. How can that man answer how the painter painted this? Or take for another example. You are dreaming. In your dream, you cannot ask question, why I am dreaming? And when you come out of it, then there is no question left. So logically, questions about Maya cannot be asked. And therefore, logically cannot be answered. So things that are inconceivable should not be subjected to canons of logic, which is inconceivable. And this world is one such, for the mind cannot conceive of the very mode of its creation. You know what? Then why we conceive our 24 cosmic principles? It's simple. We try from, say, we have 5 senses. We see 5 objects. We have 5 avenues of action. And what we see, what is the main thing of this? So now 5 senses of perception, 5 senses of action, 5 objects, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, and 5 elements. So 20, this is 20, 5, 5, 5, 5, 20. And how we perceive this? Through our mind, through our intellect, and mind stuff, and ego, because there is ego. So this is 24 cosmic principles. And through this, it is perceived. But this is Prakriti's Vikruti. It's only evolution of Prakriti. But Purusha is within. Purusha, because of Purusha, all these are evolving. Purusha is not touched by all this. Even when we are talking, say I'm talking, you are listening. When you are listening, within you, someone is witnessing. All other things coming are going. So this one we are to explore, not 24 cosmic principles. The things that are inconceivable should not be subjected to canons of logic, and this world is one such. For the mind cannot conceive of the very mode of its creation. So mind cannot conceive how mind was created, how we are seeing this world. It cannot be answered. And the question is illogical. How a dreaming person can ask, why I am dreaming? Then dream will not be there. So, this question is not logical. Achintya, the inconceived, the be convinced that Maya is the cause of this world, whose comprehension surpasses the imagination. Be convinced that Maya is the cause of the world. Because of Maya, we see this. So this, let us be convinced, whose comprehension surpasses the imagination. So we cannot conceive this. Within dream, we cannot ask question, why I am dreaming? What is the fun of dreaming? Why this is all illogical? So in the state of deep sleep, we are partly aware of the Maya, of this Maya, the seed of this world. So when we are in deep sleep, what happens? When we come out, then we say, oh, there was nothing. Only the awareness. In that awareness, the absence of objects were felt. Achintya, seed of this world. Maya bijam tadevaikam. So Maya, that means in our deep sleep, what happens? Something which is obstructing, something which says, I did not know. We say, what we say? Sukham aham aswapsam. I slept very sound sleep. Very happily I slept. Nakinchit avedisham. I did not know anything. So that means ignorance is felt when we are in deep sleep. But when we wake up, then that same ignorance takes various forms, and then we are entangled in that. We go to the next. As the tree is latent in the seed, so the waking and dreaming worlds are implicit in deep sleep. Similarly, the impressions of the entire universe are latent in Maya. In this, like this, an author conceives a plot and he writes a beautiful or very effective drama. So all those actors or the protagonist or whatever characters he conceives, all are his creation. Similarly, whatever we see, it is creation of the same Maya. Maya means again something. It is uh, not like magic. It is a power. It is a power. We cannot deny it, but it is inconceivable. सन्नप्य सन्या उभयात्मिकानो भिन्नप्य भिन्न उभयात्मिकानो सदसद्भ्याम अनिर्वचनीयम भाव रूपम यत्किंचित. So neither this is sat nor asat, nor mixture of both sat and asat, but there is something, some power. Zero, neither existence nor non-existence, because in its presence one gets value. Okay, we go to the next. As the tree is latent in the seed, okay. Similarly, the impressions of the entire universe are latent in Maya. Okay, we go to the next. On the impressions of the whole world, thus latent in the intellect. So, in intellect, this impression of the whole world is there. Now, what I was, what I lived like in my childhood, and then what happened, everything is in our intellect. On the impressions of the whole world, even this whole world, beautiful mountain and hills and dells and rivers and brooks, everything. Thus latent in the intellect during sleep is reflected the immutable consciousness. Though it is not experienced owing to vagueness, it can be inferred to exist. Because we say, oh, I slept so very well. So who slept? I. We can understand this. Only we say, oh, I did not know anything. That means there was no object, objectless awareness. That was there in our deep sleep. So though it is not experienced owing to vagueness, it can be inferred to exist. We can infer that, yes. See, as of now, we think I'm a body and I'm suffering, I'm a patient, or I'm a very rich man, and then I'm on the cloud nine. So we forget ourselves, but in deep sleep, we can infer, we can understand that we are really awareness. Only that awareness is covered, that much. Though it is not experienced owing to the vagueness, it can be inferred to exist. In the same way as the reflection of the sky is inferred to exist in the water particles of a cloud. So this example is given. We go forward. Sabhasameva. Okay, we go forward. The seed, this seed, the Maya, is association with the reflection of consciousness, which is not fully grasped, develops into the intellect, and is in this intellect, the reflection of consciousness becomes plainly visible as the ego. In our intellect, it is reflected. Like a man of realization, he sees the same everywhere, his own real self. He does not find somebody else. He realizes, Neha nanasti kinchana. Here, there are not many. It is one who is manifesting in so many forms. It is the reflection of that same self being reflected. Same sun is reflected in so many bubbles or dewdrops. So one on the impressions of the whole world, thus latent in that intellect, during sleep is reflected the immutable consciousness. So consciousness is immutable. Even we can infer when we are even talking, we are listening, something who is witnessing. When we are open to inquiry, then only it comes. But otherwise, we forget this. That is why contemplation is essential. Shravana, Manana, and Nididhyasana. In deep sleep, that is not possible. We can infer later, but while in deep sleep, we cannot cogitate. But here we can cogitate. We can conceive. Conceive means we can at least infer, not conceive, infer. So, on the impressions of the whole world, thus latent in the intellect, during sleep is reflected the immutable consciousness. Though it is not experienced owing to vagueness, it can be inferred to exist. In the same way as the reflection of the sky is inferred to exist in the water particles of the cloud. This seed, the Maya, in association with the reflection of consciousness, which is not fully grasped, develops into the intellect. And in this intellect, the reflection of consciousness becomes plainly visible as the ego. So we have concept of ego. It comes to this awareness, consciousness is reflected in our intellect. And then when it grossifies, that means when it intensifies, then we understand, I am this. Oh, you don't know, who am I? I had this. I have so much of money and this and that. So identification with something that comes. Okay, we go forward. Or no, it's the time. Okay, we take this one and then close. Maya bhasena jivaishe karotiti sruto srutam meghakasha jalakasha kasha viva tau subhyavasthito. It is said by the Shruti that Jiva and Ishvara are creations of Maya. So Jiva and Ishvara. That same consciousness, awareness feels limited within intellect, within ego. And then because of ego, because of thinking that I am small, I am limited, though we are Nitya, Shuddha, Buddha, Mukta, Svabhava, we are eternal, we are pure, we are aware of ourselves, intelligent, Nitya, Shuddha, Buddha, Mukta, and free, always free. But somehow we feel we are bound, we are limited, we are mortal. So all this comes because of this misunderstanding. It is said by this Shruti that Jiva and Ishvara are creations of Maya. Even Ishvara also creation of Maya. But the Brahman itself puts a veil on him to create this world. That is why Ishvara. Ishvara means God. being reflections of Maya, Atman in it. Ishvara is like the reflection of the sky in the cloud. Jiva is like the reflection of the sky in water. Okay, this is it is taken from Tapani Upanishad. So we'll stop here. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tatsat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Akshay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
like we are thinking that about this, like I am Brahman, but this is also in mind, so this will also be part of Maya.
Correct. So that's why you have to purify. Shodhana. When Guru said, Tat Tvam Asi, thou art that. So one has to purify. What does it mean? Tat, that. What does it mean? Tvam, you. You see, like we give this example many times. You are the same Akshaya when, say, I saw in Delhi. So that time, say, you were in high school, say, suppose. And now you are in a graduate school. So you have grown. Say, suppose somebody saw you when you were a child. Now you are adolescent. So how we relate? We don't see body. We don't see their, say, qualities, attributes. What we deduct from both the sides. And we identify, oh, it is the same Akshaya. So this is called Shodhana. Shodhana means purification. So though, as of now, what you are thinking, that's not correct. This is to be inquired on and repeated thousands, millions times. That's why Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. This is only Shravana. At least possibilities, this exploration will give you possibility. If you tenaciously pursue this, then you'll be convinced. And then if you live that idea with purification of your mind, then only it will dawn unto you. Then the question will not remain. As of now, what you said is, as of now, this is also within Maya. All the study also within Maya. But it's called Vidya Maya. Avidya Maya binds, Vidya Maya releases from bondage. So God means again the self or supreme being. He has created both. He has not only bound us, but he has given some key also. See, Sri Ramakrishna said in the beginning what we have studied, that without God, 24 cosmic principles vanishes. I mean, it does not exist. Okay, let us read that again. That's very nice. And he gave example of one and zeros. Okay, I read this.
Which number is that, Maharaj?
178 page.
Okay, thank you.
The nearer you come to God, the more you feel peace. Peace, peace, peace. Supreme peace. The nearer you come to the Ganges, Ganga, the more you feel its coolness. You will feel completely soothed when you plunge into the river. So, if you plunge in the river, then only you will be soothed. Not on the if you are standing on the bank of Ganga. Suppose you heard one time, maybe 20 times or 100 times, but one has to plunge in it. But the universe and its created beings, but the universe and its created beings and the 24 cosmic principles all exist because God exists. So Purusha, because Purusha, then Prakriti also, Prakriti and Vikriti all exists. Because of God, God exists. Nothing remains if God is eliminated. The number increases if you put many zeros after the figure 1, but the zeros don't have any value if the 1 is not there. There are some who, then he says, okay, let me read. There are some who come down, as it were, after attaining the knowledge of Brahman, after samadhi, and retain the ego of knowledge or the ego of devotion. As of now, what ego we have? Raw ego. Raw ego means unripe ego, but their ego is ripe ego. Just as these are people who, of their own sweet will, stay in the marketplace after the market breaks up. And after shopping, then still you are there. It's a wonderful example. This was the case with sages like Narada. They kept the ego of devotion for the purpose of teaching men. Shankaracharya kept the ego of knowledge for the same purpose. God cannot be realized if there is the slightest attachment to the things of the world. That means mind. When mind is there, things of the world also will be there. So mind becomes no mind that time. A thread cannot pass through the eye of a needle if the tiniest fiber sticks out. The anger and the lust of a man who has realized God are only appearances. They are like a burnt string. It looks like a string, but a mere puff blows it away. God is realized as soon as the mind becomes free from attachment. Whatever appears in the pure mind is the voice of God. That which is pure, pure mind, is also pure intellect. That again is pure Atman, because there is nothing pure but God. But in order to realize God, one must go beyond dharma and adharma. That means this relativity, relative existence. Okay, so what you said is right. As of now, this is only Shravana. But then you have to purify through manana. And then you have to live that life, nididhyasana. In the meantime, you have to, one has to continue. I'm not asking you. One has to continue one's stipulated duties to purify one's mind. And also japa dhyana, meditation and concentration. So one is purification of mind. Second is one-pointed concentration. Because then only you can see what is lying within you. Okay. Very good question. Very nice.
Thank
Pranam Maharaj.
Namaskar, namaskar. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Jaima. We have
Thank you.
Then
we have